What's up everybody, Kwame here, back in with another video. I know it's been a long time, but I'm changing that for 2020. Can't believe it's a new decade. For today's video, as you saw by the title, I want to talk about my long-term review of the Panasonic G7. So this little camera I picked up almost a year ago, a little over a year ago now, and it's gone with me to many places, Senegal, New York, Yellowstone, and just day-to-day places around here. I've even used it for video work, like professional video work. That's what I do for work outside of YouTube. So I've used it a lot, and I have a lot to say about this camera. Now, I will say, first off, I'm not a reviewer. This is not a camera review from like a professional reviewer. This is just someone who's used it for a long time, and these are my opinions about it. So first of all, let's go over the specs real quick. This is a micro four thirds camera. It's 16 megapixels. It doesn't have image stabilization. You have a whole bunch of different features on here. It does shoot 4K, and you can shoot RAW. Obviously, it does have a headphone jack or a mic jack, so you can plug in an external microphone, which is really nice. It doesn't have a headphone jack, which at this price point, I guess it probably wouldn't. It does have a pop-up flash, so you can pop it up if you want. Hot shoe adapter. Yeah, that's really about it for like the specs. This is not the kit lens. This is a 25mm lens. The kit lens I actually gave away to a friend of mine. I think it's like a 14-42 or something like that. I can't remember, but I will have links down below if you want to check it out down there. So my feelings on this camera is it is a really good camera for people who are getting into photography and video, especially video, because you can shoot 4K. There is a slight crop when you shoot 4K, but you can shoot 4K. It looks really good. The image out of it, straight out of the camera, looks really good, and the fact that you can have a microphone input so that you can get really good audio. It doesn't have image stabilization, so if they're going to be like a vlogger or walking around, I would definitely pick up a lens with image stabilization built in, like the lens I'm using right now, which is a 12-60 3.5mm lens that does have optical stabilization. So that is the one downside that I see with this camera. It is really small, so if you can see, my hand doesn't quite, like the pinky is just kind of hanging out here. That is another thing that kind of annoys me with the camera, is just it's a little bit smaller than I like. But it, again, you know, using this camera for a year, that didn't bother me too much. The thing that really bothered me was just the lack of image stabilization, unless you had a lens that could do it. You know, there were times I've taken a shot and I missed it just because it was a little blurry, whereas with a camera that had in-body image stabilization, I'd probably be able to get that shot a little bit better. Or if you're walking around and shooting video, you definitely need a tripod or some kind of gimbal for this camera. Another really cool feature of this camera is 4K photo mode. So it actually does take a short 4K video, but then you can go through, scrub through and grab an 8 megapixel image out of that 4K video and share it to like social media, even print it. So that's really nice, because if you're doing something where there's a lot of action or little kids, things like that, you can, instead of trying to hold your shutter down and just blast them with a bunch of pictures, take short little video clips, and then you can pull images out of that video later, you know, on the camera, or even like on your iPad or something. If you're using LumaFusion, you can scrub through, if it's 4K, you can do it even with any video, but it looks a little bit better in 4K because you can scrub through, find the exact frame that you want, and then save it as a JPEG later on. So overall, I'm really happy with this camera. I am selling my camera though, just because I have the Panasonic G9 and it works phenomenally. It does have an extra battery grip on it, so it is really big, whereas this one is really small. You can't get you can't get like an extra battery grip or anything like that for it. But overall, I still really recommend this camera. I really like it. Again, if you're someone who's upgrading from a smartphone and you're thinking about getting your first camera, I highly recommend the Panasonic G7. So many lenses that you can choose from Panasonic, Olympus, Sigma. Like, there's a bunch of lenses out there, so you can always upgrade your lenses over time, and then at some point pick up a new camera. So let me know your thoughts on the Panasonic G7. If you have one, you know, how do you like it? What don't you like about it? What do you like about it? Again, I really like this camera. 4K, really sharp images. It is small, so it can fit in your pocket if you have a small enough lens on there, like a jacket pocket like this, not your front pocket. The only thing I really don't like is no image stabilization, and it's a little small, so my pinky just kind of hangs out down there. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.